Good morning, everybody. As you can see, we have a new addition to the farm as of last night. So, one of the local 4-H families was looking for some duck hens, and of course, I got my runner ducks. They asked if they'd trade turkey for some ducks. So we now have a blue slate turkey. This is a young tom. Toms are the males, and when they're young, they're called jakes. Now you can tell a jake by the fact that they have little to no spur and little to no beard. The beard is the black hair-like feathers that come out of the center of a turkey's chest. Now that bump on top of his head, when he's displaying, it will actually distend as part of the display. That is called the snood. So it's kind of interesting to have a blue slate after all these years, because the first turkey that I had on the old farm was a blue slate, and we had some bourbon reds for a little while too. So he'll be showing up in the videos in the future with some more information about the turkeys. But good news, we're finally warming up here. Everything's getting nice and green, and as of Thursday of this week, I've put the first batch of eggs into an incubator. I don't expect that I'll have as good a hatch rate off of this batch as I would like, due to the fact that most of the eggs are older eggs that I've been saving up for the past few weeks. And as I've stated before, you generally, when you're incubating, want to get your eggs into the incubator no later than 7 days, because then you start losing the vigor of the egg itself, and it is less likely to hatch. They've done studies on this, and it goes down significantly the older the egg gets, especially when it's stored in warmer temperatures. And we've been keeping them in the house where it does stay, well, I would say is comfortably warm for us, but not comfortably warm for eggs. So, a couple of Polish roosters over here still, and Springer. Just so you know, I'm talking to some folks in the Polish chicken community. I'm going to see if I can find someone down in Louisiana with a hen for your rooster, for your little girl. We'll see what kind we can come up with. But anyhow, back to the incubators. I've actually put the eggs in the hatcher, which the downside of that is I have to turn all the eggs by hand, as opposed to being able to use the manual turning trays, which I'll do a video on that once I get it going. But basically, I haven't got around to fixing the incubator, the old redwood from last year. It gets up to about 95 degrees, and that's all the higher it gets, even when I've got the thermostatic wafer wide open, and it's a new wafer that I have in it as well. So we're gonna try and figure out what's going on, but I couldn't wait any longer, and I knew that the hatcher worked, so that's what we did. Now today we're going to take the remaining runner ducks, and we're gonna try and put them together as one flock. I had the grays all penned off. They're hiding in there. Got duck eggs everywhere. But had the grays penned off separate from the odd colors, the trouts, the blue trout and the blue fawn. But then, especially with sending those folks home with those extra ducks, I got to thinking. I said, both groups of ducks are being run with gray which is the mallard pattern drakes. And while I could keep them separate, at the same time, it might make more sense to put them together, because I've got one drake that has 4 hens, and then the other group, it's 2 pairs. So if they're all gray drakes anyway, I don't see what the harm is in putting them together at this point. So there's the first group. We got a trout, a blue fawn, a blue trout, a gray, and a trout. And here come the 2 pairs of grays. And what I'm hoping is that this 2 pair will integrate with the rest of them, and that the drakes won't fight too much. It's kind of a risk considering it is spring, and folks who don't have ducks might not know this, but drakes do get territorial and they will fight each other. As far as I know, nobody's bred a fighting duck, but there are German and Russian fighting geese. So just to give you an idea of how aggressive they could potentially end up there. One drake must not have got the message that there's a gate here. He's still in the garden, but the rest of them have run over. And there they are. And of course, we got 2 drakes fighting over 1 hen already. But I'm hoping they will all behave and get along later. Also bought a little something for the wife yesterday, so I got to get them planted. Bunch of flowers. There's these ones I think are pretty cool because they remind me of I think it's called staghorn coral, and it's celosia, I guess. And got some daisies and all kinds of stuff in there. So anyhow, I just wanted to do a little quick one this morning, show the turkey off, and hope everybody's doing good, and we'll see you later. Thanks for watching.